be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot. I be beaming.
Hey, what's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. It's Rhonda. You already know what time it is. It's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. We almost there, y'all, okay? If this is your first time at the channel, I want to welcome you here. Pull up a seat. Hope you enjoy the content. Before we get into this food and this story time, please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you are feeling this. Hit that bell if you haven't done so already so you know when new videos drop and when I'm going live. All right, let's get into this food. All right, so what I have is a homemade shrimp and veggie Alfredo. I made the sauce from scratch, sauteed some Argentinian shrimp, sauteed some veggies, so some bell peppers, mushrooms, threw some broccoli in there, made the sauce from scratch. I actually made a video for the vlog, you guys, so if you're interested in making this, I will drop a video. I hope it's out at the same time as this mukbang is, but if not, it'll be out in a day or so. All right, so bear with me. And since I mentioned it, go ahead and follow the vlog channel, Rhonda's Ray of Vlogs. All right, so let's do this, y'all. It's been torture smelling this food, not being able to eat it. And I'm gonna make sure I give y'all the first bite. Let me give y'all a shrimp because y'all deserve shrimp. All right, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I sure hope so. It's so good. I'm using some Cholula sauce. I'm bringing that back. The chili garlic Cholula. I want to taste it on some shrimp. You don't need it, but I just want to see how the flavor changes with the shrimp, with the hot sauce on it. I didn't use fettuccine. I actually used a brown rice and quinoa spaghetti pasta. It's gluten-free as well, if anybody that's gluten-free. This sauce is so buttery and just rich and creamy. I haven't made Alfredo in a while, but this is really good. This bite got some Cholula on it. If you're subscribed to the vlog channel, you will be getting a San Diego video. If not today, tomorrow. For sure. I just have to edit it. But it's ready to go. Hope y'all enjoy it. This is a gang of pasta. I'm definitely not gonna eat all of this. Let me give y'all a close-up of the food. Maybe that'll be better. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm not kidding y'all about this story. I had to take notes. I got like 6 pages of notes. For real, I'm not kidding you. Let's get into it because I don't want to make a super duper long video, but I do want to give y'all as many details of this story as possible, you know? All right, so in part 4, we left off with Monique going to prison. She got locked up again for doing checks and fraud. So, you know, we had just kind of stopped communicating at that point. So I was, you know, a single woman back on the market, doing my thing. Like, we stopped communicating altogether. So I was single. This is when Shy came into play. Some of y'all are already familiar with Shy. This is the Scorpio woman I told you guys about. Shy, you know, really started pressing up again on me when I cut my hair and was kind of just doing my thing or whatever. She also, when I'm looking back at it, it was also strategic for her to make her move when Monique went to prison. When she got locked up, because she figured she probably had a chance. You know what I mean? So after a couple weeks of pursuing me, you know, I finally give Shy a chance. We're talking, we're hanging out, we're enjoying each other, and we end up in a relationship. It happened super fast. We get together. Everything started off really good. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I had a good girl. You know, she had her life together. You know, she was living with her grandparents, like helping her grandparents out and stuff, or at least she told me. You know, getting her hair done. She would always be in like suits and stuff, going to her job. She had a government job. So I was like, okay, I got a winner, you know. She felt like the total opposite of Monique, right? She seemed like someone that just really had her life together, knew what she wanted, was ambitious. I'm like, cool. So she's doing her thing. I'm working. I'm in school. Everything is going good. Now let me mention that Shy has a 4-year-old daughter. I don't have a problem with that. I love her daughter. We're building a relationship. Everything is good, you know. Then things, of course, took a turn, which I mentioned in the initial story. But again, let me mention it now so it makes sense. Hanging out at a party. I'm talking to someone casually. They let me know or ask me, why wasn't I at a party when Shy was dancing? And I'm like, dancing? And they're like, yeah, like stripping. So I find out this girl is stripping on the side, y'all. Like, full on stripping, doing private parties, the whole thing. She tries to deny it. Eventually, she admits it. And I don't even know what to do at this point, you know? Because the impression of her, not that I think she's a bad person because she strips, but I'm like, you're a liar. Like, how do you fail to mention that you dance? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know what to think at this point. She talks me into us obviously continuing the relationship. She quits her government job to dance full time. She's dancing at clubs, doing private parties for like law enforcement, lawyers and stuff like that. Cool. She's bringing in a ton of money. But of course, as quick as she spends it, she, you know, as quick as she makes it, she spends it. We're not living together though. I just know she's spending like a lot of money because she never had no money. Like, as much as she was making, she was always like barely getting by. So anyway, she's dancing, living with her grandparents, whatever. I ended up getting my tax return back and just moved out of my parents' house. Like, I didn't even tell my parents I was moving out when they found a place, and I moved out. You know, because it was just that time. Like, you know, I'm hanging out. Me and Shayna going out every single weekend for like a year or two at this point. The heat was on me. I'm missing my freaking curfew. It's just me and my parents is beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like, one night I came home, y'all. Well, one morning I came home. And me and my dad was sharing the car at the time, right? And we're sharing the car because my dad was getting ready to buy a new car. So in the meantime, we're just sharing a car. I come home. My mom is dressed. Full on suit at like 5 o'clock in the morning. She don't usually go to work till 9. But I done came home at 5 in the morning. My dad done woke my mom up, okay? 3 or 4 hours before she needs to get up to get dressed to drop him off at work because Rhonda done missed curfew. And I'm late by hours at this point. So I'm like, I got to do something. I'm going to have to get up out of here because I'm doing way too much. My parents going to kill me. So I got my tax return and moved out. My parents hated my first apartment. I remember when they came and saw it, my mom referred to it as child abuse. It wasn't that bad. It was a bunch of studio apartments that got a motel that got converted into a bunch of studio apartments. But it looked like drugs and prostitution was going on. And it was. But, you know, I was just trying to live my life and, you know what I'm saying, not have to answer to nobody. So anyways, I move into this place. I don't even tell Shy that I move. She didn't know for like 2 weeks I have my own place. So when she finds out I have my own place, she magically is all of a sudden having problems at her grandparents' house. And, I mean, I wasn't going to let them get kicked out, her and her daughter, so I opened my house up to them, right? So we start living together. So, of course, I'm like, the hell am I going to tell my parents when they come visit? You know, because we was having family night. on Sunday. So either I would go to my parents' house or my parents would come to me. And we would go to dinner. So I'm like, what am I going to tell them about this girl? Like, who is she? Where'd she come from? What kind of, like, why is she with me? Why is she staying here? So I tell my parents that one of my coworkers kind of fell on hard times and opened my place up to her. You know, I have a futon that I'm sleeping on, but she has her own bed for her and her daughter to sleep on. And my mom's like, oh, that's so sweet, Rhonda. You so nice, and yada, yada, yada. So, cool. Got that out the way. And I know my parents never popped up in my apartment. So whenever they were coming, we would take our pictures and stuff down. I would put all my boy clothes away, hide stuff. Like, it was crazy. This was a studio. So I would find space to put all this stuff somewhere so that it could look like we was living these separate lives of just friends, right? So everything is cool. The reason why my parents believed that she was, like, never assumed that she was my girlfriend. They didn't believe that she was, they never assumed she was a lesbian or into women because she had a daughter. That used to be a really big thing back in the day. Like, oh, she got a daughter. There's no way she's into women. Now, mind you, she had just, her mood, she kind of got moody and started just kind of changing, right? But I didn't think nothing of it because my other Scorpio friends told me that Scorpios were moody. So I didn't think nothing of it, right? So one day, she was kind of having some like health problems or whatever. Nothing major, but like looking back, maybe it was like fibroids. So she's like, Rhonda, before you go to work, can you drop me off at this clinic? I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just call in sick too. Nah, just drop me off and one of my sisters will come pick me up. I'm like, all right, cool. No problem. So I see her later that day at home. She was asleep. She was just out of it. You know, she, like I said, she was being real whack, being real moody. Took a couple days and she kind of bounced back and seemed like herself. All right, cool. So a few weeks go by and she wanted me to get a piece of paper out of this journal she had. So, y'all, I am not a nosy person. I don't go looking for stuff because whatever you're doing is going to come out anyway. I don't have time for all that. So, I'm going to get a piece of paper, trying to find a blank sheet. I see all these love notes to her child's father. I'm like, what? And it was recent because it was dated. It had like a date in the corner of each sheet of paper. It was dated. And I'm like, this was recent. So I'm like, all these love notes about her wanting to, you know, resume their relationship and wanting to have another child with him and them working things out and yada, yada, yada. So I confront her and she's like, no, it's not like that. You know, I was working on this short story and some bullshit she told me. I was like, girl, what? So she was like, no, for real. Like me, I don't even talk to him. It's not like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. So she lies her way out of it. My dumb ass believes it. Of course, I still feel fishy about it, but I'm like, whatever. So then one night, we sleep. She come waking me up, pushing me, trying to get up. And I'm like, what's going on? She was like, you know, I really want us to start over fresh. I want us to have a clean slate with our relationship. I know some things have been a little off and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, where's all this coming from? She was like, well, I want to admit to you that I was pregnant. So the day I dropped her off at that clinic, y'all, she went and got a fucking abortion. And I dropped her off to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so I felt stupid. I felt used. I felt this small. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, really? You gonna play me like that? And she's like, you know, I just got caught up and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh my God. So mind you, I was over the relationship. We were not having sex like that. I feel like that we stayed together because I wanted a relationship with her daughter. I didn't want her to take her daughter away from me because I felt like that's what she was gonna do. Because that's how girls were. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna ride this out, do my best so I can keep a relationship with the daughter because I loved her. Like, I really, really loved her, and so did my parents. Well, I'm gonna start taking it one day at a time. Just whatever she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. Like I said, I mean, we weren't broken up. We were still together. So let me cut to Monique real quick. So Monique got my address Mind you, I had moved into a place. I had my own apartment at this point. I can't remember if I gave her the address or I feel like my cousin did. I feel like Shayna gave Monique my address. So one day I'm checking the mail. Of course, I have a letter from Monique. I'm like, oh shit, she wrote me a letter. So I read the letter. I hide the letter. I'm trying to hide it from Shy. I don't want her to see it. So cool. So I stashed the letter. So a couple days later go by. I go look for the letter because I think I was trying to read it to my cousin or whatever. I was just trying to revisit the letter, right? I can't find it. Now at this point, I don't know what's going on. Where did I put it? Did I misplace it? Did it fall out? I'm like, damn, where this letter at? So I don't say nothing, you know. Shy not acting weird or whatever. So I'm like, damn, I wonder where this letter is. So, okay, cool. So it's business as usual. I'm going to school, going to work. Bam. So I get a collect call on my cell phone. It's Monique. She is hysterical on the phone. She is going nuts on the phone. She's heartbroken. Like, you can hear the pain in her voice. I mean, she's crying, like screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong? She starts reading this letter to me. Shy done found the letter, tore it up, wrote another letter, sent the pieces of the letter and the new letter together back to Monique in prison. Wrote the letter as if I wrote it to Monique. So, of course, Monique is like heartbroken, hurt that I would come at her like that. Talk to her in that tone. I mean, because granted that we weren't together, I wouldn't have said the things that were said in that letter. And this is a super side note as well, you guys. Monique had no idea that I had moved on. She just thought I was kind of just hanging out doing my own thing because her and Shy know each other. They're not like this or anything like that, but they do know each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's the last thing I wanted to tell her is that I had moved on with somebody else that she happens to know. I wanted her to think in her mind that I was just, you know, single, out here just living my life, going after my degree, working. So I did move on to do my own thing. I didn't want her to think I moved on and like started a life with somebody else. So she didn't know that. So it wasn't like I could clear the air with Monique and like be like, nah, Shy sent the letter. So I'm just like on the other end of the phone like, damn, why would she do something like that? So of course I confront Shy. She think that shit is funny and it's not. We get into it. She's like, why are you tripping? Why are you defending her? She's your ex. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this girl is evil. Like, how you gonna kick somebody when they down? You know? So again, we just kind of going through the motion. We're still together, living together still. You know, me and Shayna are hanging out still. Hanging out, having a good time. So one night we go out. And my one agreement with Shy is that I would never let the sun beat me home, right? Well, this day it did. I got home about 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's not the break of a new day. It's a brand new day. Sun is out. Birds is chirping. Like, I walk in the house, y'all. My cousin is with me. Shayna's with me. Because I'm like, go home with me. Like, man, like, I wasn't even doing that. We were just hanging out. We went to one of her friends' houses, and we just lost track of time. And I dozed off at one point, and my phone died. So I went to sleep because it was late. And I had been drinking. I wasn't drunk or anything, but I was just tired. And when, you know, my cousin woke me up, like, oh, shit, it's late. Let's go. So, okay, we get home. Shayna goes with me upstairs. Or comes home with me. Y'all. You would think that, I get it. Maybe you packed an overnight bag. You mad. You want to yell and ask me where I've been and all that stuff, right? When I tell y'all, she packed up the whole apartment. I'm not lying. The whole entire apartment was packed up. Her stuff, the baby stuff, everything. I'm like, what the hell? So, she trying to push her way out the door. I'm just standing in front of the door. She can't, and we on the second level. So she can't get out unless she hop through a window or jump off the balcony, which she ain't gonna do. So I'm sitting there just begging her to talk to me for like an hour or two. Finally, she gives in. Y'all. After an hour or two, she finally gives in. Gives the most evil laugh, y'all, okay? She was like, I really was just testing you. I wanted to see if you was gonna fight for me or just let me leave. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I'm like, what kind of games are you playing? Like, she was like, I'm not playing no games. I just want to be with somebody that's gonna fight for me. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking like, the same woman that got pregnant on me. What? You tripping off of me coming home at 7 in the morning? So, Of course, again, this is like the tail end of our relationship. You can feel things about to fall apart. We agreed we break up because she damn near is not coming home anyway. She done moved in with her grandparents, basically. And we also agreed that she wouldn't move out while I wasn't there. You know, we want to make sure everybody got their stuff and nothing got mixed up, right? I come home one day. She done moved all her shit out. All her stuff was gone. There's a pile of trash in the middle of the apartment with a note on it that says trash in all capital letters. I walk in the door, my neighbor knocks on the door, and the neighbor is like, I ain't talked to this woman in weeks. I don't even know if she ever, we've spoken before, but it had been weeks at this point. She wanted to let me know that there was basically another stud or masculine looking girl that came and helped Shy move out the apartment. This girl done brought her new girlfriend or whoever she was messing around with to the apartment and helped her move, right? I think that ain't cool to me. So I'm hot. So I call her about that. She lies, of course, because she's a liar. Tells me that, no, I was moving by myself. The neighbor got it twisted, da-da-da-da-da. It's a girl in the background, me and a girl getting into it. And I kept on getting into it with this girl because I would always call her, even though we weren't together, I would call about her daughter, about us spending time together, about at least talking to her on the phone. And eventually it just kind of fell off, because I was tired of arguing with another woman. I mean, it was not our child, me or this other woman's child. But me and this little girl had a relationship and I wanted to maintain it. And it wasn't an easy thing to do. So I just let go. It was just a mess. I'm glad it finally came to an end. Me and Shy stopped talking finally. Circling back around, I'm going to wrap things up with Monique. Monique gets out about 6 months after me and Shy break up, finally. At this point, she finds out that Shy and I were in a relationship. She wasn't mad. She understood why I moved on with my life. Now, what she didn't know was about the letters. So I told her about the letters and that Shy was the one that, tore them up and sent them to her. Because, I didn't want that. I didn't want her to ever think I would do something like that. I didn't think she was going to get this mad, though. She was pissed. Like, she had it out for Shy for a long time. They was feuding for a long time. They would get into it on the party line, try to get each other's telephone numbers and all this stuff or whatever. I remember at one point on Pride weekend, I wasn't with either one of these girls. I was in a whole nother relationship. So this was like 2 years after everything happened. They saw each other and ran up on each other. Never actually fought because somebody broke it up. You know what I mean? Before it could get underway. But I'm like, are y'all still really on this? So, but when Monique got out, nothing really happened between us. We tried to make something happen. At that point, I had moved on. I had bought a condo. I was really trying to get myself together, make better decisions. I felt bad for her, though. I felt like she didn't have nothing, so I was still trying to see where her head was. Trying to see if prison had changed her. You know what I'm saying? But, of course, it didn't. She was enrolled in school to be like a dental assistant, I think. She was failing all her classes, wasn't really going to school like that. So like I said, trying to keep it together on the surface, but still doing the same thing, running with the wrong people. So I finally let that relationship go. I probably say we got back together for like another 8 months to a year. And then I was done. And that was it, Both of them tried to get back with me. And I just couldn't do it. I'm like, this is too much. This ain't my life. This can't be my life. So that's it, y'all. Like, yeah. So anyways, we're going to resume with part 6 on Friday. I'm trying to figure out where my coming out story falls in all of this. I need to kind of, again, revisit. I know it's my life, but a lot has happened, and I'm just trying to, get my memory together. But my coming out story is coming soon. Part 6 coming up. And y'all get in the comments. I'm going to meet y'all there. Let me know if you have any questions. Talk about any of y'all old relationships. And if you like this video, thumbs it up. Y'all make sure to check out Rhonda's Red Vlogs. And I'll see y'all Friday. So until then, be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, they know I'm hot.